Sony Pictures Animation is quite the mixed bag when it comes to their movies, as they have some beloved masterpieces, some utter garbage, and everything in between. Their first movie was Open Season, and it may have been forgotten, yet it managed to get 3 straight-to-DVD sequels, and a TV show, but I ain't going there. I thought it'd be interesting to rank these adventures of wild animals from worst to best to see if any of these are even remotely good. As usual, prior to starting, I should issue a spoiler alert to you so you don't end up getting attacked. Be sure you have your stuffed bear and fish crackers on you, since this is going to be quite the hike. Hey, I'm Owen the Fictionboy, and here's my top 4 open season movies. Open Season Scared Silly. Boog is afraid that the Wailing Wampus werewolf, a creature from a campfire story Elliot told, would be after him, so Elliot tries to make Boog overcome his fear. Shaw, the villain from the first movie, convinces Sheriff Gordy to reopen Open Season as a way to shoot down the wolf and get his revenge despite being told to only shoot the werewolf. So now the Forest Friends have 2 major things to worry about before Elliot can officially go camping with Boog. Let me just say that if the series didn't go downhill before, it certainly did now, as between Shaw's questionable choice of henchmen, Mr. Weenie thinking he's the werewolf, seeing characters eating poop, and Boog cross-dressing, this was a big, what the am I watching kind of movie. This honestly should have been called Scared Stupid, and I can safely say this is not only one of the worst movies from Sony Pictures Animation, but also one of the worst animated movies I've seen in general. Open Season 2. Elliot gets worried about his marriage to Giselle after breaking his giant antlers, as well as words from Ian haunting him. But things get worse when he sees Mr. Weenie having been dognapped by his owners. I'll let you be the judge if that's actually dognapping or not. So the other forest animals have to save him, especially when Fifi has a diabolical plan against wild animals, and during the rescue mission, Boog tries to make sure Elliot and Giselle will be a great couple. What makes this sequel kind of fun is Fifi making for a good villain, maybe even the best in the series. However, Elliot is just unbearable with his excuses of not wanting to marry Giselle, leaving me unsurprised the other animals continued their adventure without him, and given how he wanted to be wild in the first movie, I questioned Mr. Weenie's sudden change of choosing to be a pet again. At least the ending is somewhat sweet, hence why I didn't rank it any lower. Open Season 3. Boog gets sad he has no real friends to go on a guy's trip with, so during his solo expedition, he stumbled upon the Maslova family circus, and Lazy Bear Doug tricked Boog into swapping lives with him. Boog gets to befriend Alistair the Camelid, and finds himself in love with female grizzly Ursa, meaning he needs to show how much circus material he is, whereas Doug crowned himself the king of the jungle, which is actually a forest, making everyone else his servants. One of my main positives about this third installment is a nice romance between the bears that I almost would have liked to see Ursa more. Nevertheless, it's a major facepalm moment when Doug's cover was blown as Elliot was so oblivious, unlike everyone else, and the dogs didn't need to be in the movie aside from aiding the forest animals in saving Boog from going to Russia. I still found this to be the most tolerable sequel, yet I believe you should know which film is number 1. Open Season. Well, here's yet another franchise where the first film is the best one. Boog is a civilized bear who lives with Ranger Beth and is the star attraction, putting on a routine for his town. One day, he rescues the hunted deer Elliot, yet that made Boog regret his gesture, as that led to him raiding the local convenience store, being mistaken as a threat to other animals, and Beth had no other choice but to release him into the wild. Boog now hates Elliot for ruining his life, yet he is inevitably the only chance for Boog to reunite with Beth, as Boog can't stand anyone in the wild, and they had to be aware that open season was nigh. As this series had one awful sequel, a bad one, and a decent one, this original is good-ish. Not all good, yet the most good. I've been questioning Boog and Elliot's friendship. One could argue the same for the sequels, though the animation is pretty solid and I do get some entertainment. The comedy is definitely more targeted towards kids, and Shaw was a fine villain before his character downgrade in the fourth movie. While I think even calling this a cult classic is a bit of a stretch, this is the only film that's the least problematic for me to recommend, as the sequels aren't so worthwhile. Still, this is quite the movie for us to remember. Still need more fiction? Then please give this video a like, subscribe, share, and turn on notifications. Also comment below and follow me on Instagram for teasers and thumbnail previews of videos to come in the future. Thanks for watching, see you again soon, and good night-o!